Hello guys, welcome to feeding.net. So in this particular session we will go through the top 15 string interview question to unravel the mysteries behind the string in C# together. So without wasting time, let's jump on to the questions. So let's start with the basic question, what is string in C#? So in C#, a string is basically a collection of characters used to represent the text. So let's see the example. I have declared a variable str1 of type string and assigned a value hello. So here each letter, that is HELLO, is represent as a characters, okay, and hello as a whole is represent as a string. So now let's move to the second question. How strings are represented internally in C#? So internally, string is represented as an immutable sequence of characters. Okay, so immutable means like once you declare it, you cannot modify it. If you try to modify it, it will create a new object in the memory and leaving the old one as unreferenced object. The second line says they are stored as an array of characters. So here we saw each letter you can consider them as a character and they stored as an array of character within a string. And they follow UTF-16 encoding, and each letter, or you can say each character, has a unique value assigned to it as per the ASCII convention. Let's move to the third one, how you declare a string variable in C# and how it will look into the memory. So here an example, I declared again the same example, hello, I assigned to str2 variable. So what it will do for variable is basically the container where you can store a value and you can manipulate it. So this container you can consider as this is the str2 container, and I stored the value hello, and it is stored at some specified location, that is str2 is the name of the memory location, at the rate 0x123 is the address of memory location, string is the type of data stored here, and hello is the actual data stored. So now let's move to the next one. It says explain the concept of immutability in C# string. So here it says strings is a reference type and is immutable. So reference type is basically meaning that it is not storing the actual value, but it is pointing a reference where the value is actually stored in the memory. So here str3 is pointing to the location this where this actual value hello is stored. Okay, so and it is immutable. So as I already explained that once you create, you cannot modify it. If you can see the example, see at the start I assigned a hello value to str3. So what it will do, it will create a memory location, let's say a1, and store the value hello. But as soon as I try to modify it, means change it from hello to hello Riddhi, what it will do, instead of storing this hello Riddhi to here, it will create a new memory location, let's say b1, and store this value here, and leaving the old one a1 unreferenced. There is no way to get this value. So that is what I have written. If you assign a new value to the string variable and try to modify it, it will create a new object into the memory and leaving the old one unreferenced. So now let's move to the next one. It says explain the difference between string and string builder. So here I am declaring a string builder object, then I am using the append method and I am trying to append the text. So when I am doing the console.write line, it will print hello space world, and behind the scene it will create only single memory, unlike string where it will create three object into the memory and hence three memory location. So let's see the actual difference between both. First is the mutability. As I told, string is immutable, cannot change once created. String builder is mutable, can be modified efficiently. As I explained the memory usage of both. Now the performance, string poor for frequent modifications and string builder is good for frequent modification. Memory usage, each modification creates a new string object. Here, like this is example, it created a new memory location. And for string builder, it modifies the existing buffer and reducing allocation. So this is the example. When we append it, it will not going to create a new memory location, instead use the existing one. So usable, I mean suitable for static string and infrequent changes, but string builder, it is suitable for dynamic string manipulation. Usability is like simplicity, you can say, but for string builder, I mean it requires more code, but efficient for dynamic changes. Require more code, like this is the example, like you I mean every time you have to append it. So advantage of string builder, you can say it's mutable, memory optimization, performance, and it provides a convenient API. And it has few methods like append. We already saw the example of append. Then we have the insert, then we have the remove, then we have the replace. So now let's move to the next one. Here we need to explain the string intern concept in C#. So here, if we have two variable, or you can say if we have two strings having the same value, then it will not create a separate location for them, even though these two are different variable. Internally, what happen? At first, you create this variable, okay? It will create a memory location, some memory location random, and it will store the value hello, and str1 it point to this. As soon as you create a new variable and assign the same value, internally it will check, okay, do we have any memory location or do we have any variable where same value is assigned? If it is yes, then instead of creating a separate memory location, it will point to the same. So this is all about string intern concept in C#. So the next one is string pooling, which is related to string intern only. So the concept by which string intern knows, okay, we have some variable which is having the same value in the memory is called string pooling. So the process by which string intern knows, okay, str2 knows, okay, we already have some variable having the same value is actually called the string pooling. So as per the definition, it optimizes your memory usage by reusing string within the same value rather than creating the multiple instance. Okay, so here it is not creating the multiple instance, unlike string where it is create the multiple instance. Okay, so the next one we have is string interpolation in C#. So this is introduced in C# 6.0 version, and it basically simplifies the process of creating formatted string. So what do you mean by the formatted string? So formatted string means that you can directly embed your literals into the expression. So what are literals? Literals are the direct value that you assign to your variable. So here John and 30 are the literals. So here what I have did, I have started this expression using the $sign which I have mentioned here, and then using the curly braces I am embedding the literals into this expression. So here like I am denoting the literals using their variable name and age. So on runtime it will produce my name is John and I am 30 years old. So and here there is one biggest advantage. Unlike string, if you use it using the string, it would have create a separate objects when you try to concatenate two variable value into the expression. But since this is interpolation, it will create only single object in the memory. So this is the biggest advantage of string interpolation. So the next one we have is escape character or sequences in C#. So these are basically the special characters that are difficult to type directly, like such as tab, new line, quotation mark. Okay, they start with a backslash and followed by that combination of characters, like /n represent new line, /t represent tab, / double quotes represent double quoted character. So here we have the example like hello slash t world slash n. So if we do the console hello, then we have the slash t, it means 5 spaces, tab, then world, and slash n means next line. So it will shift this is a new line to the next line. So now we have the at the rate, like whenever you want to represent an FTP location, you have to add this at the rate at the start, so that compiler knows, okay, this is some location. Next one, we have the quoted string. So this, how you can do it, you can add slash double quotes at the start of the string and at the end of the strings. Here you can see the output, it has the double quotes at the start and at the end. So now try to understand how do you concatenate strings or different ways of concatenate string in C#. So method number 1 is using plus operator. So let's see the example. I have str1 variable, assign value hello, str2 world, and then I am concatenating both. So here try to understand how many objects behind the scene will going to create. So here for str1 it will create one object, str2 it will create again one object, and then in the concatenation str1 then it is appending a comma to it, so it will create one. So whatever the result of above, and then we are concatenating this with str2, okay, str2, so again it will create one, and then again we are adding an exclamation sign, so again it will create one. So in total 1 plus 1, then again 1, and then its result to this one, and then its result to 1. So total 5 objects will be created in this. Okay, let's move to the concat. So in concat again we are doing the same thing but using the concat method of string, and again the same thing will happen. Again they will be going to create like 5 objects. Now we have the string interpolation. As I already mentioned before, since we are directly embedding the literals into the expression, it will only create a single memory, unlike string where it will create one like 2 and then again 1 3, but here it will only create one object in the memory. So now we have something called string.join. So this is also a method to concatenate two string. Like we have other option called interpolation, we discussed string concat plus operator. So using string.join, what we have to do, we need to specify by which character you want to join. Okay, so I specified like comma, like I want hello comma world, and then you need to pass the string array. So all the values in the array will be concatenate using comma, so the result will be hello comma world. So now let's move to the string builder. We already have seen that we have to create the string builder class, and we can append as many string as we want, and this is pretty much safe in terms of performance. So for string heavy application you should use string builder, and you can see the result is hello comma world. So I think all the concatenation ways is pretty much clear to you. So now let's understand the difference between equal to operator, equals method, and reference equal method when comparing strings. So start with equal to operator. It says for reference type like object, string, or reference type. So by nature it compares their references, okay, not the values. But if you overwrite equal to operator, in that case it will compare the values. Okay, now for value type it always compares the values. So example, for value type like it compares the values. So integer it compares values. But for reference type like strings, okay, string is a reference type, so by nature it should compare a reference. But since equal to operator, but since equal to operator is overloaded here, okay, over functionality to compare the content of the string, to compare the value of the strings, okay, rather than their references. So for string, equal to operator will compare the value and not the references. But for other reference type like object, it always compares the two objects, okay, and not their values. So now let's move to the equals method. So this is basically a virtual method defined in system.object class, but it is overridden by string class. Since this is a virtual method, we can override this method. So it is overridden to compare the content of the object, like equal to operator. Okay, now we have something reference equal. So reference equal method basically compare the reference of two objects, means the location of two objects, and not compare the actual value. Okay, so now let's move to the example of reference equal. So here, if you can see, both these variables have same values. As per the string intern concept, it will reside in same memory location. So if you do reference equal str1 and str2, it will give you a true, since they both point to same memory location. Okay, so their references are equal. But if suppose str2 has a value hello world, we have this one, so if you do reference equal str1 and str2 here, it will give you a false. Okay, and the example for equal to, so again, like equal to compares the content, so str1 and str2 will give you true, and same for the equal to operator. Now try to understand how to convert a string to uppercase or lowercase and their implication on memory. So here we have a toUpper method in string class. So I have declared a variable str hello, and then str.toUpper, I can convert it to uppercase. Okay, so now we have toLower. So toLower, what it will do, it will convert the hello to the lowercase. Now let's see example. So now let's see their implication on memory. Here, if you can see, we have a small case hello, and if I do dot toUpper, like what it will do, it will convert from small case to capital case. But what happened after executing this one, there will be two string object in the memory, one point to this and second point to this. And same goes for the toLower. Again, once it is executed, it will have two string object in the memory, since you are manipulating the strings. Okay, and string cannot be manipulated. If you try to do it, it will create a new memory location. So now let's move ahead to understand string.IsEmpty or string.IsNullOrWhiteSpace. So both check the content of string, and if condition matched, they return true, as they return false. So in case of string.IsNullOrEmpty, it checks either the string is null or empty, but in null or white space, it checks whether a string is null, empty, and contains only white space. If you see this table, if I do pass an empty string, so is null or empty will return true, and this will also return true. And if I do null, so both will return true. As we know, null or empty string is checked by both. The only difference is the white space. So if we pass the white space, then is or null or empty will going to return the false. Okay, but is null or white space will going to return the true. So this is the only difference they have. So now let's try to understand some important function in strings. So we have few functions like split, replace, substring, index of, last index of, and trim method in C#. So let's start with the split. So suppose you have an array of string having value apple, banana, orange, and you want to try to split them into an array, and you want to pass a delimiter like comma. Like whenever they find a delimiter comma, they split your content into a string array. So what happened? It will create an array. At 0th index it will put apple, then it check, okay, we have a comma, then index 1 it will put banana, and index 2 it will put orange. Now we have the replace. So what it will do, it will replace all your occurrence of a specified characters, okay, within the string with another character. Like here again we have a string like apple, banana, orange. Here I want to replace all a with the x. So what it will do, see, a is replaced by x, a here, then we have banana, some a's, and we have one a in the orange. So now we have substring. So if you want to extract a portion of string started from some specified index, so you can use substring. So here what it does, hello world, then it says dot substring and it specify index 6. So what it will check, okay, 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. So it says give me the portion of string starting from index 6. So index 6 is w, so starting from w it will give you rest of the string, so the answer will be world. So now we have the index of. So use this method to get the first occurrence of any specified character within your string. So my string is hello world, I did dot index of, I specify, okay, give me the index of O character. So O character index is 4. If you see 0 1 2 3 4. So now similarly we have the last index of, so it returns the last occurrence of the specified character that you specify. So here if you can see there are two O's, like there is one in hello and there is in world, so it will give me the O index from the world, okay, 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So now we have the trim method, it removes the white spaces from the start and the last of your character string. So here you can see there is some white space at the start and last, and what the output is simply hello world. Now we have a length method. So using that you can get the length of a specified string. So I did like hello world dot length, so the length is 11. So now we have a method called pad length. It basically adds character to the left of the string until it reaches to specify length, or you can use this to add the leading zeros. So here my original string was 1 2 3, I specified okay length is 5 and I called this method pad length. I specified the length and then specify okay add the leading zeros. So what it will do, 0 0 and then 1 2 3, so the total length is 5. Okay, so and similar we have the pad right, if you want to do it from the right like 1 2 3 0 0. So now we have something called compare method, which is used to compare two strings but in a lexical manner. So what is lexical relationship is all about? So in C#, each character is denoted by some unique value as per the ASCII convention. So here like A is assigned a value 97, B is assigned like 98. So when we do a compare between str1 and str2, and since 97 comes before 98, so result will be less than 0, it will be -1. So here it will fall into this. But if suppose if str1 has banana and str2 has apple, then it will give you result like greater than 0, it will come as 1, result will be 1, so it will print this. But suppose you are comparing apple versus apple only, so the result value, the integer value that it returns, it will be 0. So in that case it will come to this else part. So I hope this is clear to you. So now we have a concept called string comparison enumeration in C#. So as per this concept, it specifies how string comparison operation should be performed, whether you want to ignore cases while comparing two strings, or whether you want to ignore culture differences while comparing two strings. So this is basically a comparison rules that you can specify. So let's see the example. Here I have two strings str1 str2, both having value hello, but in one there is a small case and second there is a capital case. So here I have done like equals method of string. We know it compares the contents, okay, and here I specify okay that string comparison that ordinal ignore case, so it will ignore the cases of two string, okay, so it will give you a value true. So now we have a second example where we have made the culture difference between these two strings, and again I specify okay do a invariant culture comparison. So here again we will going to get the true. So guys, this is the last question we have for the string in C#. I hope you have gone through each and every interview question we specified in this meeting, and in case you have any query, just give me a message in the comment box. I will try to reply as soon as possible. In the end, I would say just subscribe my channel. Thanks a lot.